In the beginning, there was nothing. It was dark and empty and shapeless. "Let there be light," God said. As soon as he said the words, light came into existence. God saw the light was good. God divided the light so that there was day and there was night. God made the sky and separated it from the waters below. God brought the waters together into seas and created dry land. "Let the land produce plants and trees full of seeds and fruit," God said. And all varieties of green and leafy plants filled the land, from tall redwood trees to trees bearing olives and oranges, acorns and chestnuts. God saw that all he had made was good. "Let there be lights in the sky for the night and the day," God said. "Let them mark times and seasons, days, months and years." So the golden sun became the light that shone in the day, and the silvery moon the light that beamed in the night sky. God also filled the darkness with stars. He saw that all he had made was good. Let the waters be filled with living creatures, and the skies with every kind of winged bird. Let them multiply and increase in number. Then every kind of fish and sea creature swarmed and splashed in the seas. The air above became filled with color, shape, and sound. There were dolphins and seahorses, eagles, owls, robins, and warrens, buzzing bees, and beautiful butterflies. There'd be all sorts of creatures to move on the land, God said. So there were sheep and goats, elephants and giraffes, lions, tigers, and graceful gazelles. God looked at everything that he'd made and saw that it was good. God made man and woman, put them in charge of his creation to take care for it and gather food from it. God loved the people he had made, and he saw that everything he had made was very good. Then God rested. The perfect world. God gave Adam and Eve a beautiful garden to live in. It's full of plants and trees with fruit they could eat. The garden was watered by a river that ran through it. Adam and Eve tended the garden and worked in it. Adam and Eve were good company for each other. They shared the work and they lived happily together. Adam gave names to all the creatures that God had made. God told them that they could eat anything that grew in the garden except the fruit of one tree in the middle of the garden, tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Good and evil. One of the creatures in the garden was a snake. Came to Eve and tempted her. "Did God really tell you not to eat from any of the trees in the garden?" he asked. "God told us we can eat from every tree except the tree in the middle of the garden," said Eve. "If we eat that tree, we will die." "You will not die," said the snake. "God does not want you to eat from that tree, because if you do, you will know good and evil just as God does." Eve looked at the tree. She saw how lovely its fruit looked and thought about what the snake had said. She took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave it to Adam. He ate some too. As soon as they had eaten, Adam and Eve knew what they had done, realized why God had told them not to eat the fruit. Now they had disobeyed God, and it was too late to make things right. They felt guilty and ashamed. Genesis 2:4 through 2:5. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him." Genesis 2:18. And when they heard God coming in the garden, they found trees to hide among so he would not see them. Adam and Eve are sent away. God called out to Adam, "Where are you?" "I was afraid, so I hid," replied Adam. "Have you eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil?" God asked. "It wasn't me," said Adam. "The one gave me the fruit and I ate it." "What have you done?" God asked Eve. "Wasn't my fault," said Eve. "The snake tricked me and I ate the fruit." God was very sad. He turned to the snake and told him that he would crawl on his belly from that time on. He turned to Eve and told her that she would have pain as she gave birth to her children. Adam, the thorns and thistles would choke the plants he grew. Then God banished Adam and Eve from the garden he had given them, chosen to disobey him. Now they knew the difference between what was right and what was wrong. They would know suffering and death. They could not be God's friends in the same way anymore. Genesis 3:1 through 8. The woman saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. She took some of the fruit and ate it, and she gave some to her husband, and he ate it too. Genesis 3:6.